Hi there. My name is Savannah. You probably know that if you're friends with me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. I'm talking to you today because I have decided to forego my NROTC scholarship and enlist again. And I know that a lot of people won't agree with my decision, but it's what's best for me right now. It's what's best for me, what I want out of life right now, what I want to do, what I want to see. And this is a decision I might regret later on in life, but if you followed me kind of on this journey, I kind of wanted to be a Marine since like my sophomore year of high school, like halfway through. So backstory. I was standing in line to get my license, and there was a service member behind me. And something about it just kind of like rung a bell like deep inside of me. That's the only way I can put it. I was just like, wow, I really admire that person. Like, geez, they must be so dedicated and passionate about what they want to do in life. Like, geez, they want to serve their country. Like, how inspiring is that? And for some reason, I was just like, wow, like, I could do that. Like, before that point, I had never really considered the military. I was like, oh, I'll be a princess when I was like 8. And then I was sorry. I was growing up and I was like, wait, oh, I could be a dermatologist because I want to help people with their skin. But nothing had ever stood out to me the way that uniform did. And so I started researching online, and I actually called up a recruiter and asked for more information, did the whole like marine.com stuff, and I called up a recruiter and I was like, hey, I'm interested. Is there any way I could like get more info? And Staff Sergeant CJEC actually was my original recruiter, and it's funny because I'm going back to him again, but he's been with me throughout this entire process, and actually I was like the first person that he recruited in general, which was kind of neat because I guess, I don't know, I spent a lot of time in his office. Anyway, I have never had something that just makes me so passionate, so inspired. I want to serve my country and freaking like serve in the best branch of military of any country. Like, Marines, especially U.S. Marines in America, are known throughout history to be the best of the best. Heffelhunden, friggin' World War II. Like, I'm so passionate about that. And I'm very, very, very lucky to have received a scholarship. I didn't expect it. I got a 3.3 in high school. It wasn't stellar. It wasn't bad. I was just kind of in the middle. What really like put me above everyone, I think, in the eyes of the board that selected me was that how dedicated I was to becoming a Marine, and also my leadership experience in the past. My past was sports. Geez, I played a lot of sports growing up, and I think that's really something that showed them that I was really dedicated to a cause, to a team, being captain of teams, placing really well. I was also part of National Charity League for a few years, and that philanthropy and impacting people's lives really, really, really is something that resounds deep within my character, and it's something that I love to do. Anyway, and trust me, I know there's not really a good way to word this necessarily. I'm going to do my best, but obviously not everyone's going to agree with me. They're all going to say, oh, this is a stupid decision. Why are you doing this? Like, you had such a great opportunity. Yes, trust me, I know what a great opportunity it was. But I went through a lot of things my freshman year. Well, it's not over yet. It's after the semester, but the first semester I started dating a guy. I'm not getting into the specifics or whatnot, but the situation was really bad, and I had classes with him. And in the end, I didn't want to go to that class, and everything going on really affected me in a bad way. And I ended up having to kind of just work with that. It really dropped my GPA. My GPA was almost 2.5, and to stay off of academic probation, you have to have above a 2.5. And I did not make that. So I was put on academic probation this semester. I had a PRB. I had to be in khakis, and you had to sit in front of a board and be like, hey, this is what happened, and this is my plan to make sure everything goes great, And unfortunately, this semester it didn't go that great. Such is life. I was doing really well in all my classes. The only class that really kicked me in the butt was chemistry, and I got 100% all the labs, recitations, homework, but unfortunately for his class, 75% of it was the exams, and I did not do well in those. So I kind of had to come to the realization that if I'm struggling this much my freshman year, maybe I'm not ready for college right now. But also, after your freshman year, you incur an obligation to pay back all the school funds that NROTC has given you. So if you start out as a freshman year, it's kind of like a wash, I guess. That's the way that Major has put it. It's kind of like a done, we gave you a year kind of thing. And I kind of made the decision that this is not for me right now. And there's other reasons why. I'm not going to go into detail necessarily of like all the friggin' things that have gone wrong in my life. And you know what? It's okay. I've made my peace with it, and I'm actually very, very excited to enlist again, and I'm actually going to MEPS here pretty soon. But I do want to clarify something, and I'm going to read off something that I've told a few people, just kind of like have them make sense, I guess, of like where my head is at. Obviously, there's kind of like a bigger picture, I guess, in my head of what I see in the future and what I want to do. And it sounds super kind of cliche, but ever since I was little, I knew I wanted to do something that left an impact. And being a Marine is something that I dearly, dearly want to be. It's something that just makes me want to wake up in the morning and get going, And they say that if that's something, if that passion that gets you out of bed in the morning is something that you want, you're going to go after it. You're going to chase your dream. And if anything, kind of get all of my thoughts out without having to sit here in front of a camera and being like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know. Anyway, so I said that I aspire to be a Marine. I dearly want to serve my country. I want to be a leader, and I know that I can lead. I want all those things so badly, and these are just words that I'm spewing out to all of you. I know. And I know how sometimes it can seem like I'm all talk and no do, but please just know that there's nothing more that I want out of life than to be part of the United States Marine Corps. Yes, I worked my tail off to get here, but I've done a terrible job maintaining where all that hard work has put me. I've reacted and responded to negative situations in my life in ways a potential future Marine Corps officer shouldn't. Rather than growing from the situations, I continue to let those things weigh me down and pile like on top of each other. My resiliency this freshman year has had the hardiness of Jell-O, and I truly, truly do take responsibility for my failures and the mistakes that I've made, which have been many and often. And everyone makes mistakes, but I just kind of kept managing to screw one thing up after another, despite my efforts not to do so. I've lost a lot of sleep over this decision. It's definitely not something I made the decision quickly and I was just like, yep, that's what I'm going to do. No, I've looked at all the different aspects of whether I should stay in college and do OCS after or do the PLC program. There's so many different routes you can do to become an officer. But I also think that I have a lot of maturing to do. Anyway, I wanted to enlist since day one. I had that let's get some mentality, that motivated mindset about going to boot camp, and I truly did not think I'd make the cut for the scholarship. I partially applied for the sake of my parents' sanity, as they were disapproving of enlistment. Not that they disapproved necessarily of my life choice, but they would prefer that I would go officer. But the thing is, I was never a great test taker. The SAT reflects this, nor was I a top-notch student. School is hard for me, as it is for everyone, and sadly, people automatically judge your intelligence through your GPA, which I think is complete and utter bullcrap, but, society. I found my niche, where I shined, essentially, in sports, charity, in loving the impact that I could make on people if I presented myself as a positive role model. Yet right now, I kind of feel anything but that. With all the negative things that I faced this year, I'm left with an impression that this is all a sign that I'm not ready for this. And my time spent sick in bed after my Atlanta competition, which was so much fun. Oh my gosh, that was such a great experience. I got a really bad infection. No bueno. But I thought about all of this a lot, and I came to the conclusion that I'd rather be a fantastic enlisted Marine and gain kind of the maturity, the bearing, the military leadership experience that I know I need, rather than appearing lackluster in comparison to my fellow second lieutenants and the Marines I'd be instructed and honored to lead. I feel like I'll have the opportunity to better myself in boot camp, starting from the bottom up, rather than going officer and being that officer that all the Marines would be like, oh God, like here she comes again. I really feel that enlisting can offer me that experience that I need to be a better leader should I choose to go officer in the future. And I truly think that NROTC has been a humbling experience and a lesson that I really, truly did need. It has given me so much knowledge. Trust me. It was awesome. And I might come back around later and try and go officer, and I know, trust me, I know, it's a huge opportunity that I'm essentially giving up because this is a path to being an officer. I know, trust me, I know. But as of right now, I want to go to Parris Island. I want to suffer through the 3 months of grueling training, getting yelled at by DIs, and, enlisting is something that I really think that I will enjoy in a way, and I'll see kind of the both sides of the spectrum, And should I choose to go officer later, I think I'll be able to better relate to my enlisted Marines. And my goal, obviously, is to stay in for 20 years. But if that doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. And as of right now, that's what I want to do. My hope is that with this video, I was kind of able to offer an explanation as to where my head is, where I plan on going with this master plan of mine. And you know what? Life is full of ups and downs, and you gotta take different paths, and this is one of those paths that I feel like I have to take, and I'm very excited. But I just want to highlight the fact that on social media, all of us project what we think is our best image, that is our kind of a face that we want to show the world, but not all of us broadcast our problems and stuff, and I'm definitely not one of those that is just like, hey, you know what, here's what's going on in my life, everyone look. But you know what? I've gone through a lot this year, and I hope that kind of my shared experiences will help explain why I'm doing this and the path that I want to take. But feel free. I know many of you won't agree with this decision, but comment down below if you have any questions. Send me a message. Call me. I don't have a phone right now, but please just let me know what you're thinking or feeling or whatever. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. But I hope you guys have a great night, and I love you all. Mwah.